Gypsy's roommate and chill coffee. You know, start advocating instead of it being all about you right now. You do have such a beautiful heart. And how cool it would be if it was like fun Gypsy's, you know, new re-entry home to furnish the home for girls coming out of prison or girls coming out of abuse or something like that. And you're falling back into those old patterns. The only thing I wanted for you, Gypsy, was nothing negative, nothing bad. It was just for you to use your platform for good. You're supporting someone who has absolutely no interest in you whatsoever but to take your money and to hear your, what's the word I'm looking for? Praise.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is now beefing with another woman she was incarcerated with, and this one is quite interesting and a little shocking. This is Nadatha, and she is on TikTok. Some of you may even recognize her or remember her from her first video she made about Gypsy, because this is the video where she was talking about how Gypsy had a good heart and that she knew Gypsy's heart. Basically, she had only nice things to say about Gypsy. She was very respectful and trying to give Gypsy some advice because she was a little disappointed that she wasn't using her large platform to do something meaningful. Now, apparently, Gypsy didn't really respond well to Nadatha's videos because she has recently messaged her on TikTok about these videos she was making, alleging that she's just mad that she didn't get out of prison and blow up like Gypsy did. So Gypsy sent her this message saying, "Hey, so I know you've been making videos about me and you're just mad because I got out and blew up and you didn't. I'm not gonna write a lot on here so you can use it against me, but whatever friendship we had is dead, and what I do with my life is my business." So we're gonna go over this whole situation from what started all of this to present day, because Gypsy is now claiming that the message Nadatha shared from her is Photoshopped. Now, the first video that Nadatha made about Gypsy was posted on August 22nd, and here's that video.
So I made a video the day before yesterday about being Gypsy's roommate and chill coffee. And for some reason, there's nothing but music over the top of it. And I'm not a conspiracy person, but it's just kind of weird. But I don't want the message to get missed. Okay, so Gypsy, if you can hear this, if you find this, and that's why I'm remaking it, because I want you to find it. I know you, and I know what you're capable of, right? And even though after watching the prison documentary, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed at some of the things that were stretched. I'm gonna use better language this time than I did last time, because last time it started a whole slander, blah, blah. I'm not gonna do that. What I do wanna say is that you have such a platform right now that you can make a difference for the women that we know. You can speak out and be their voice, and you're not doing that. You're getting so caught up in the fame and the attention and everything like that that you're not even understanding the power that you have right now to make a difference in these women's lives. Even the women that are coming out of DOC in prison, the difference you can be making, you know. And I know that you said, I believe in an interview, whatever, that you wanted to do that, but I haven't seen you do it, and I want to see you do it. You know, and even if it's on here, you know, you have a TikTok following, well then do something about it. Start talking about what goes on in DOC. Start talking about the things that they need in there. You know, the things that you didn't get in there, the help that you needed that you didn't get. You know, start advocating instead of it being all about you right now. And I'm sure I'm probably gonna hurt your feelings, Gypsy. And that's okay, because somebody needs to, because you do have such a beautiful heart. And again, I'm gonna catch flack for saying that, but we all make mistakes. We all do stuff and we make mistakes, but I know your heart. And I just pray that you decide that you want to start making a difference.
After she made this video, she was getting a lot of negative feedback from both people who support Gypsy and those who do not. Those who do not support Gypsy basically saying, Gypsy does not have a good heart, like, what are you talking about? And then those that are supporting Gypsy telling her, well, she can't do that because she's on parole, or are you doing any of those things? To which Nadatha replies, I am a director of faith-based sober re-entry home. Many people home plan to our facilities once released from DOC, where we help them with counseling, obtaining employment, spiritual growth, money management, and purpose. So yes. Now, because of all the negative feedback in her comments, Nadatha posted a second video on August 24th, and here's what she said.
And I wanted to take a minute to respond to some of the comments that were on my video to Gypsy. So a lot of you have very valid points. Keep in mind that I'm not a negative person, and I also believe in grace, love, mercy, and forgiveness. I think a lot of it, you can't be black or white thinking and not understand, especially if you don't understand the demographic and background that we all come from. And again, no judgment on your opinion whatsoever. In the Missouri Department of Corrections, we are not separated. So whether you were a petty, stole from Walmart too many times and they put you in there for burglary, or you were a drug addict, they mix us all in there together. Doing so causes us to see each other in a different light that not the rest of the world gets to see. Some of you said she doesn't have to do any of that. You know, she's focusing on herself and her baby and her family. And I can agree to that too. She doesn't have to do any of that. But what I am saying is, instead of it being the next TMZ episode, her using her platform and her voice to advocate for the things that she's overcome, the stigmas that's attached, and the women who have no voice. I'm not a person, especially after my experience of going into prison, I've had roommates that have all committed unaliving. But my experience was different because I got to know them on a deeper level than what just the news and what the media and what other people said about them. Some of you have said that it's not right that she should still be in prison. And with that, I want to say this. Alyssa Bustamante was 15 years old when she committed the crime that she committed. She came from a background of parents that were drug addicts, a family that didn't teach her right from wrong. She didn't have a gentle, happy life and ended up making a mistake when she was a kid. Truth be told, it was probably to get attention from people that she wasn't getting attention from. She had a parole hearing this year, and it was denied. Patty Pruitt is an innocent woman who's been in there since the 70s, and is just waiting on the governor to sign clemency. There are women in there that have, in the heat of the moment, maybe in a domestic violence situation, felt like they had to get out and they had no other choice. I was a person who robbed, stole, lied, scammed, cheated, did drugs, abandoned the people I loved, hurt the people I loved, cared about only myself. But the answer to that was to start caring about other people more than myself. DOC is just like a big daycare. It's just somewhere they send you so they don't have to deal with you. Yes, we have a way to get mental health medication and to see a therapist, but even so, it's so, like, the wait list is so long, and the therapy that we get, you might as well hand us a coloring book and some crayons. The healing that takes place in there, it's got to be something that you do on your own. My healing came from surrendering my life to Jesus. And I understand you saying that she just wants to focus on her family. Believe me, I have 10 kids, and I run 2 sober living homes. Is it a lot sometimes? Absolutely. But I am so grateful that God restored those things to me and trusted me with those things, and that I have a purpose and I have a voice and I can make a difference in the world instead of being somebody who took from the world. And what I mean when I say that Gypsy wasn't all bad is that I'm not justifying her crime whatsoever, but we have to be people that believe. You don't have to be. You can choose not to be. But I choose to be somebody who believes that people can change and not everybody is all good or all bad. As a lot of that stems too from the fact that I've read the Bible and a man that healed people, loved people, and came to help people. They put him on a cross and crucified him. And if that man, whether you believe that he was just a historical figure or the Savior, if he can look at people and forgive, then I can too. I'm not going to be somebody who's so scandalized and surprised by a sinful, broken world. That's the one thing prison did help me with, is I got to know the people behind the story. Gypsy would still give somebody coffee if they needed coffee. If they needed help with hygiene, she'd help them with hygiene. You know, she wasn't a complete, awful, horrible, bad person because she did one horrible, awful, bad thing. I do think that she gets caught up in wanting to belong very strongly. So it's not really surprising to me that she gets a little bit of fame and she's going crazy right now because she wanted so badly to belong in there. But my message is clear. Gypsy, use your platform for something that matters. Be known for a woman who stands for something, not just the next episode of TMZ. Also, I've been to prison, so chances are the negative comments that keep coming in, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I've been called a lot worse. All grace, all love, all forgiveness.
See, most of it, like, this is not talking down about Gypsy at all. Like, you can tell that this is a person who has healed and is just trying to give Gypsy some advice from someone who has been in her shoes, so to speak. She even made a separate video the next day correcting another person who made a video about her first video that basically took it out of context because she doesn't want to put Gypsy down or gossip about her.
She said, "Gypsy, I know you, and I know what you're capable of."
To be clear, that is not what I meant. And, kind of what I was trying to avoid, as we don't need more gossip and rumors in another episode of TMZ on Gypsy.
She doesn't post another video in regards to Gypsy until September 4th when she comes across this GoFundMe. Now, to be clear, I think that this GoFundMe is fake. I don't think that this is actually Gypsy's, but when screenshots of it first started going around, a lot of people believed that it was.
I don't make too many videos about being Gypsy's roommate in Chillicothe. Here and there I do, but I just kind of wanted to touch on this because I remember when I got released from DOC, I actually went into a program, and I had to work. I had to learn work ethic, and I had to learn who I was as a person, and I had to learn how to pay bills for the first time in my life and how to be an adult, you know. And I know I talk a little bit about wishing that Gypsy would hear me and saying that she needs to advocate, and you guys say that she doesn't really need to or have to, and you're right about that. But wouldn't it be so much better than seeing this, to see her heart being poured into something that matters? Because I'm not understanding this. You know, we just got custody of 6 extra kids in May, and so there's 11 kids in my house, and I work my butt off. He works his butt off, you know, because we believe that God gave us these kids, and so we love on them, and we appreciate coming from what we came from to getting to do this now. And prices of everything, I mean, a gallon of milk is ridiculous. Going grocery shopping is ridiculous in my house. But I work my butt off, and I get to work my butt off in something that I love, which is helping other people. Like I said, there's always 2 sides to people, right? But she's taking the bait. She's taking the bait. And I wish, Gypsy, if you ever get to see my TikToks that I'm making you, because I've tried messaging you, I've tried doing all that, but I can't seem to reach you. But this is probably not a good move. It's just not a good move. It's funny because I was actually looking at it and thinking how cool it would be if it was like Fun Gypsy's, you know, new reentry home to furnish the home for girls coming out of prison or girls coming out of abuse or something like that, you know? I could see it. I could see it right there. And you're falling back into those old patterns, you know, and making wrong choices. You like to be a part of the mess when you were in there for a little bit, and then you stop doing that, right? Because you learned your lesson. And right now you're doing the same thing. You're becoming a part of the mess. You're getting sucked into all this stuff, and you're falling right back into the old Gypsy you used to be. I just hope that, I hope at some point you wake up. And if you do, and you want to do some reentry work, some help, some loving on people, some leading people out, then get a hold of me. And I will hold your hand and show you. Because you can do better. You can do a lot better.
So those were all of the videos that she made prior to Gypsy sending her the message. And then you also heard her mention in one of her videos that she had tried to reach out to Gypsy. And this is going to bring us to present day, just 2 days ago, where Nadatha made this video about how Gypsy messaged her.
Okay, so I had first thought about making this video last night, but I decided that I needed to sit on it for a minute. The only thing I wanted for you, Gypsy, was nothing negative, nothing bad. It was just for you to use your platform for good. This will actually be my last Gypsy video because after this...
And again, the message reads, "Hey, I know you've been making videos about me and you're just mad because I got out and blew up and you didn't. I'm not going to write a lot on here so you can use it against me, but whatever friendship we had is dead, and what I do with my life is my business."
I'm going to stop. Because it's a waste of my time. It's like talking to a child. You know what I mean? Because in none of my videos did I say anything offensive to you whatsoever. Honestly, friendship means that you care about the direction a person is going. And you said our friendship is dead, but we never really had one to begin with because we were just acquaintances. The media portrays people as something that they're not all the time. And I guess I got my real first glimpse of what that looked like with the whole Gypsy Rose shenanigans. You guys are supporting somebody who's a joke. You're supporting someone who has absolutely no interest in you whatsoever but to take your money and to hear your, what's the word I'm looking for? Praise. Who's completely self-absorbed. Who was old enough and had so many opportunities to get away. And I don't even know what the system was thinking. I really don't, because like I said, if we're going to release her, then why are we not releasing other women that are in there? She is not who you think she is. And yet people worship her. So for all her defenders that are going to get on here and blow my comments up, I'm going to turn those off, because that's not what I'm here for. I like to bring awareness to things. And the awareness is that you guys watched a movie and you thought, oh my gosh, this poor little girl, and believed everything that they fed you. Because you don't know her. Gypsy knew at the end exactly what was happening. Honestly, she needs therapy. And truthfully, she probably needed a reentry program herself that taught her a different way of life. But she didn't get that. And you know why? Because DOC is a joke. They literally call it lesbian day camp, because that's the equivalent of what it is. You'll go in there and know some things and come out knowing 10 times more. You don't go in there and come out a better person unless you actually put the work in yourself. And not a lot of people do that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because nothing we say or do is going to make a change in Gypsy. It's something that she's going to have to learn on her own. Pray for her. If you're really that invested, and you know, we should pray regardless, but and you really care for her that much, then pray for her, because she's not headed in a good direction. But you're better off investing in somebody who doesn't look at you like a dollar sign. I'm sure at some point, this whole, maybe in a year or two, it'll all be blown over and done with. But guys, don't believe everything that the media brings to you and says to you about a person. Like I said, this is my last video about her because of this message. I'm just going to focus on what I'm passionate about, which is my family, the Lord, and recovery. I'm really getting into videography now. I think I'm going to start showing more stuff about like people in recovery, videography. But this deserves not one more. Not one more of my voice, of my thoughts, of my opinion, of nothing. I hope you guys have a blessed day.
So after she makes that video, this content creator, Sharon Elizabeth, makes her own video where she's talking about this message Gypsy sent her and includes the screenshot. And Gypsy comments on that video and says, fake and photoshopped. And then Nadatha comments, girl, are you kidding me right now? If I only had the time. Now, Sharon, the OG creator of that video, comments and says, so you're saying the message you sent to Nadatha Walker is a fake? And then Gypsy replies, yes, it is a fake. Now, other commenters chime into the conversation, a few people saying, you can clearly tell this isn't Photoshop. And then another person says, I hope you heard everything this woman said about you because it's 100% true. Gypsy replies, who cares? I don't. It's fake. Now, another person comments, all the evidence and facts laid out, that's 100% you and your words. Sad, because all she wanted for you was to use your platform for good like you claimed you would when you got out, yet it's not. And then Gypsy replies, again, it is fake. Now, do I think that this message is fake and photoshopped? No. No, I do not. Nadatha doesn't come off to me as the type of person that wants to post about somebody else for clout. It seems like she has a pretty interesting and pretty amazing story herself. I mean, she was in prison with Gypsy, so I'm pretty sure that she has plenty of things that she could be making content about if that's what she wanted to do. So I don't see her wanting to fake an entire situation about Gypsy Rose Blanchard just to post a video about it.
I'm in between driving and back from the sober living houses to my house because I had to run over there really fast. But I did see this. You do realize that my videos are mediocre at best. I literally just got a cool light and still have to click around on all kinds of things on TikTok because I don't know how to work them. It's a learn as I go thing. And also I have 11 children and 20 people in recovery. However, I should have saw this coming. And my husband's about to ground me from TikTok because he says I'm getting too into it and I just need to let it go. She's not even in my life. So also, if you go back to my content from the beginning of when I started TikTok, you can clearly see the kind of person that I am versus the person that you are. But I gotta go because my husband says I'm in trouble.
Another point that I would like to make, if this message was in fact fake, why didn't Gypsy comment on Nadatha's video where the message was first shared? Why did she go and comment on someone else's video that just shared the screenshot if it was in fact fake? Or why not message Nadatha herself? I'm just saying, we all know that Gypsy loves messaging people. She messaged Nina the beauty influencer back when all of that drama happened, and let's not forget that she messaged me and asked to Trippy wanting us to dox Ken Urker's ex-girlfriend. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't put it past her to send this message to Nadatha. If you guys are on TikTok, please do me a favor and go over and follow Nadatha. I will link her TikTok account in the description of my video down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this situation. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.